Welcome. I am Mrs Bailey and I am the Assistant Head Teacher responsible for the sixth form at St John Fisher Catholic Comprehensive School. The next 2 years of a student's education beyond Year 11 will shape their entire life. We aim at St John Fisher to provide the opportunities for all students to develop into successful 21st century citizens with a lifelong desire to learn. I firmly believe that no task is impossible with the correct guidance and support. Studying beyond Year 11 is very different. We stretch and challenge all of our students to achieve their true potential and to aspire to be the best they possibly can. But why should you choose to come to St John Fisher Sixth Form? In the last performance tables, St John Fisher was the 3rd highest for progress in Medway. In fact, only 2 grammar schools were above us. We provide an excellent level of support for our students to move on to their desired university places. Every year, approximately 80% of our students go to university. Past alumni have studied a vast variety of subjects, including pharmacy, biomedical sciences, primary education, law, business, and maths, to name a few. It is with great delight when I hear from our past students who have then achieved 2-1s and firsts in their degree, and then they go on to study higher level degrees at master's level and even PhDs. Our students attend many different universities, ranging from as far away as Edinburgh to Wales to Cardiff to Bristol, Bath, University of Kent, Sussex, Surrey, to name just a few. Students at St John Fisher have the added advantage of receiving contextual offers. This means that universities offer them places, sometimes an unconditional, or with lower grades than they would to other students. This is due to the enhanced participation schemes that universities now offer. We are lucky to be a University of Kent partnership school, and this means that our students have individual support from current university students. Sometimes these students are even people who have attended St John Fisher. A wide variety of events happen, such as help with UCAS applications or supporting them with their study skills and university visits. For our higher attaining students, we offer an Oxbridge programme which involves individual support and mentoring from key staff, supporting them with their application. We have many leadership opportunities within our school. Just as our school motto, Deo Redite Dei, states, we have many leadership opportunities within St John Fisher Sixth Form. We have a head boy, we have a head girl, and a senior student leadership team. Just as our school motto, Deo Redite Dei, means give back to God, we support our local communities with charity events and aim to help to make a difference for all. Our students in sixth form partake in regular work experience, and they have placements in a variety of places. We have, in past years, we've had students who have attended Parliament with the local MP, for example. I am immensely proud of the teaching quality within St John Fisher Sixth Form, and our students often comment on the amount of one-to-one support that they receive from their teachers and staff within the school. They say this helps to make a real difference to the outcomes that they have at the end of year 13. We want our students to aspire to be the best they can. And currently, this year, we have 4 students who have applied for medicine and 1 for dentistry. This is the first time this has happened at St John Fisher in the recent years. And we have all worked hard to support these students with their applications, and our resident doctor, Dr. Norman, has been able to use her knowledge to make their application really stand out from other students. We are an academic sixth form. We do have entry requirements for our subjects. The minimum entry requirement that we have to do our level 3 courses is 5 GCSEs at grade 4 to 9, but as you will see in our prospectus, there are specific entry requirements that are higher than this for certain subjects. So what should you do next? All details of how to apply to St John Fisher Sixth Form can be found on our school website. There is an online prospectus and there are application forms there too. We are really pleased that you are taking an interest in joining St John Fisher Sixth Form. It is an exciting time to be part of our school community, and we look forward to receiving your application. Please enjoy learning about the different subjects that we offer and choose wisely. Thank you for listening.
Hello there, I'm here to talk to you about the BTEC Applied Science course. It's one that I've been fortunate enough to teach for quite a few years now, older days, and now it's a new BTEC, more vigorous, more demands and exams. Why is the subject enjoyable? Well, we learn in a variety of ways. We obviously have theory lessons, we have practical lessons, and also with the theory there are different ways in which we learn, and learners find that very enjoyable. We also link to real-life examples, so a lot of what we're learning about has real-life applications, and that's one of the real key parts about BTEC. Many students are happy with this style of course because it does, like I say, have both exam and coursework components. So it's not 100% exam. If that's something that you're not particularly confident on, nearly 40% of the grade comes from coursework components which are internally assessed, so that way you can bank some of your marks already. Why choose it? Well, it encompasses not only biology, chemistry and physics, but it also covers lots of practical techniques, equipment, and also preparing learners for the life of work in science. One of their big ideas is about making sure that people who do the BTEC Applied Science course, they go on to work in the science sector, and it gives them the skills in which to do that. I know that Mr. Harmon has taught a unit in the past which was all about working in the scientific industry, and he's worked in the scientific industry himself, and he says he wished that a lot of people he worked with had done this course, because a lot of what they had to do in work was pretty good stuff there. Demands. So, what we require to get on today, you need a minimum of grade 4 in mathematics and 4 from our biology, chemistry, physics, and 4 9 to 5, 4 grades. It builds on content we learned from GCSE, and it really does go into detail. I'm currently teaching the chemistry component of Unit 1, and I'll be honest, pretty much the same thing I'm doing with my Year 12 chemists, I'm doing with the BTEC Applied Science lot. So it really is quite demanding in terms of the depth in which it's going. We've got lots of pupils that have gone on to science-related careers and courses. So we've got some that have gone on to study veterinary science, some that have gone on to do midwifery, and so there's lots of different avenues that it opens up in there. Look forward to seeing your applications. Thank you very much.
Hello Year 11, I'm here to talk to you about A-level biology. So my name is Dr. Norman, if you don't know me. I teach A-level biology and I love the course. I think it's fantastic. So what do we teach during A-level biology? Well, we start off by teaching biological molecules and cells. So we go into a lot of detail about how biological molecules actually work inside the body and how cells actually work. And then we move on to how organisms exchange substances with the environment, which is way more interesting than it actually sounds. We look at the heart, we look at the lungs, we look at the digestive system in a lot more detail. We look at hemoglobin, how does it change, how does it work? It changes when we do exercise, how is that helpful to us? So with a lot more detail, and we begin to look at what's happening when things are going right in those systems, when they're healthy, what starts to happen when things are going wrong, when people are unwell, and then even start to look at treatments based on that biology. And then we look at genetic information, variation, and relationships between organisms. So we take the genetics, so what's happening on that individual cellular level, and then how does that affect the organism as a whole? And then how does that affect the ecosystem that it lives in? And then in year 13, we look at a lot of detail about photosynthesis and respiration. How do the chloroplasts actually work? How do the mitochondria actually work? What's actually happening inside those systems? Then we look at organisms responding to changes in their internal and external environment, which again, a lot more interesting than it actually sounds. We look at the nervous system. So how does our bodies manage to change a touch into electricity that we can then process in our brains and understand? How is it that light can enter our eye and we change that into electricity and we process that as an image? Again, it's all about the fine details and really what's happening inside our bodies. And then we have got the next topic, which is genetics, population, evolution, ecosystems. So again, very similar to year 12, but again, just taking it into more detail, which is really useful because you get to revise all year 12 content as well and build on it. And then we look at control of gene expression. So we have already mapped the human genome. Right, fine, okay, interesting. But now we want to take it one step further. How is it that we control which genes are active and which genes aren't? And maybe if we can understand that, we can start getting our bodies to treat our own diseases without having to take drugs. maybe we can cure genetic diseases. And it's really interesting because there's a lot of research going on in this area at the moment, and it's really useful topic for people who want to go into any kind of research area, and there's a lot of jobs in that area as well. So what are the lessons going to look like? Well, you have lessons, we'll do PowerPoints, presentations, work from booklets, all that, and textbooks, all that kind of standard stuff. But in A-level biology, we do encourage you to go away and research your own ideas and look in more detail for yourselves, and come back to us with questions, some of which we will be able to answer, some of which researchers are still working on. So actually we won't be able to answer, you know, together we might come up with some ideas, but we might not be able to come up with a definite answer. And then we've got the practical side. Now in GCSE, you'll know practicals, you get given a method sheet, your teacher models how to do that practical. It's very controlled, often can be quite rushed because we only have an hour lesson, and doesn't give you much freedom. Whereas in A-level, we may give you a method sheet, or we may ask you the preceding week to research a method, and then we give you the equipment. We give you 2 hours to do it, and we let you get on with it. So you have lots of time, you have lots of freedom. We're there to make sure you don't do anything too crazy or too dangerous, but it's you're investigating a real question. And what's really, really fun is we then say, okay, you've got these results, we'll go away and see what they got at university. And what's really interesting is the first time you get the same results as someone at university, you get a real buzz from that, because it's like, I'm doing proper science. You know, people at university with way more expensive equipment than we've got have got the same results. So it's really good fun. So why might you want to study A-level biology? Well, the first reason and the most important reason is that you study it because you enjoyed it at GCSE. There's a lot of detail, there's a lot of content to get through, you've got to love the subject. But what might it lead on to? Well, some people take A-level biology and then go on to do biology degrees, biomedical, biochemistry, neuroscience, all those kind of things. Some people go into healthcare, so medicine, dentistry, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, psychology, psychotherapy, all those kind of things. But some people decide to go not to university, they do apprenticeships, or they go and do non-science qualifications. And so a lot of people think, well, if you're not doing science after sixth form, there's no reason to do a science at sixth form. And that's not strictly true. One of the most important things that we look at in biology is, okay, you've got this bit of data, but what does that actually say? And can you draw any conclusions from it? Have you studied enough organisms? Have you got enough bits of data? Have you done a stats test to prove that these results weren't just through pure chance? And so if you can analyse that data properly, then you can assess the worth of that study. And that skill is crucial in a huge, huge range of jobs. And I'd almost argue that you would struggle to find a job or a career or a qualification where that skill is not useful. So if you love biology at GCSE, please think about biology at A-level. It's great fun, really useful, and we'd love to have you. If you're thinking about any of the A-level sciences and you want to have a chat with me, let your science teacher know. I'm involved with all of them, so we can find the right fit for you. My time is up, so I wish you a good evening. Thank you very much.
Hi there, I'm Mrs Douglas and I teach the Level 3 BTEC Business at St John Fisher's School. So the Level 3 BTEC Business is a very versatile, relevant qualification. So it's versatile because you can pretty much go into any industry, whether it's in the public or the private sector, and access employment there. Employers themselves do like students to have a business qualification because they realise those students actually understand how their business and the organisations work and can pretty much utilise them in any functional area of the business. It's relevant because we are dealing with business all day, every day, and businesses have to be able to react to the changes in the environment. So there's always something topical in the news that you can use in your coursework. That brings me on to the next thing. So how are you assessed? You're assessed by exam, so you'll have a finance exam. You'll also have to design a marketing campaign as well for a given business. And then you have 2 units as well of coursework. One that looks at exploring the business environment, and the other one which looks at recruitment and selection. So it might be quite different to what you may have been used to if you've done GCSEs, but it is a mixture of both coursework and exams, which a lot of students quite enjoy. And it is obviously a bit more challenging than what you might have been used to at level 2. So at St John Fisher, the business students that have come through my doors have always gone off and achieved quite well. They've always gone off into university. They've been able to access a range of different courses from finance, marketing or general business degrees. And most of them as well have ended up going into some sort of employment using those qualifications that they've achieved. So lots and lots of successes. Hope to see you in September. Come and join us at St John Fisher. We look forward to having you here.
Hello there, I'm Mr Bowers, Head of Science, and I currently teach A-level chemistry, and I'm really enjoying doing it. It is absolutely fantastic to be able to deliver such a great course. I remember studying A-level chemistry when I was at school, and all of my courses, it was the one that clicked. Why should people study it? Well, it gives you a really good understanding of the world around us. It makes us understand what things are going on. We look into more detail than you would cover at GCSE. Okay, we're going to be explaining trends in more detail. You know, we're going to find out the 2AA2 rule isn't actually real. Okay. What are the benefits? Well, lots of pupils who will study chemistry will go on to do science-related courses at university. We've got some who are studying at a partnership school. We've got 4 pupils who are all looking on to go towards studying medicine, which is fantastic. And there are other ranges of courses available after chemistry to do that. The demands. So it is demanding. It is obviously a step up from GCSE. We would be looking for pupils to be getting a 6 in chemistry or combined science, along with a high grade in their maths, because there is a high maths component in there. You're going to be doing lots of practical work. You've got required practicals, very similar to how they are in the GCSE. However, you are assessed on these practicals. So at GCSE, it's about taking part in them, experiencing them and answering questions. In that way, it's very much the same way in chemistry. You will be assessed on your write-ups and you'll be given feedback on those kinds of elements. So you get really good understanding of the practical and what it's about. Past success, this is the first year that we've been running this course. So I'm very much looking forward to this year being a very successful year, and then that will continue. And obviously, subjects that it will lead to: science at university and other science-related courses, as well as letting us understand the world around us. So, A-level chemistry. Thank you very much.
Welcome to our new Year 12s who would love to study English literature. I'm just going to talk you through the course. Year 12 itself, we have 2 themes. We're very lucky to have 2 English teachers. The first thing that we cover is the theme of war. Journey's End is the play that you will be studying, which is relevant to World War I, and then we look at The First Casualty, which is a novel by Ben Elton. So there are lots of resources available that we can give you over the summer so that you can get ready and be prepared. The second teacher covers the love section. So you look at 1920s America, Great Gatsby, with Leonardo DiCaprio starring in the main film that we focus on. And then you look at pre-1900 love poetry. It's an amazing course, and we're so lucky to have so many students involved with it this year. There is one other unit that you start at the end of Year 12, and that's the coursework unit. So we go back to the Gothic, And our lead text for Year 12s last year, going into Year 13 this year, was Frankenstein. So everybody read Frankenstein and studied that with their teacher. And then they was able to go away and choose from a selection of novels something that they wanted to compare Frankenstein to. So the teacher guides you through the type of themes that you can talk about. It's very, very much an independent study coursework, and so many students enjoy this. Okay, so moving on to Year 13, there again you keep with the two themes, war and love. With the war teacher, you look at poetry, war poetry, across a broad range, and because you've got so much knowledge and background from Year 12, our Year 13s at the moment are absolutely loving this module. You also are going to start revising Othello, because with your second teacher in the love section, you actually pick up and read Shakespeare's Othello. So we're hoping lockdown will be finished, and potentially we can go to the Globe, or we can go into London and put this to the stage and to be able to see it live. Again, you finish your coursework unit, that's normally finished about February of half term, and you have guidance from teachers, and you have one-to-one all the way through during that period of time. So I'm going to talk to you about assessment, which is really important to know how the exams work. So the first exam, we have two. The first one is a 3-hour exam. Don't be put off, don't find it daunting. You are very, very prepared. The English teachers work really hard with you for you to be able to sit that 3-hour paper, and that is quite the norm for A-level. We have an open section, which is lovely, so you can actually take your book into the exam with you. And the first part, the first assessment, is 40% of your final A-level. The second part of your paper one, you look at Shakespeare, you look at unseen poetry, and then you have a comparison of texts. Paper 2, that you can choose 2 options. So the options we choose is the war poetry, World War I, and we look at unseen prose and an extract from there. So this paper isn't as daunting, it's 2 hours, 30 minutes. And again, you have an open book, you can take your novels in with you, blank copies, and again, that's 40% of your final A-level. So the last part is the coursework unit, which makes up the extra 20%. And you start that normally the last term of Year 12, and then that is completed and handed in. We have a look at it for you, but it is the exam hall that actually mark your coursework, and that is your final 20%. Lots of our students that study A-level have such a passion for the subject. Most of them go either to university and study literature at A-level, or they work within the field of English. We are very lucky to have some amazing students last year and this year, and the majority of our grades are A to C, and students love the subject. They work really, really hard and really passionately. We really hope that you're going to come and join us. We're desperate to have you as part of our team. We have 5 A-level teachers who are very, very passionate about the subject, and we look forward to seeing you in September.
Politics is a highly respected A-level amongst both universities and employers. Students taking the course will benefit hugely from the skills acquired, developing an inquiring mind whilst exploring new concepts and challenging old ideas. Students will develop an ability to communicate their ideas eloquently and effectively, as well as the ability to argue a coherent case. This successful and exciting course will appeal to students who enjoy debating and challenging ideas which affect their everyday lives, and when they want to progress in a relevant field or keep their options open, politics is the ideal subject. Students from the past have gone on to study a variety of subjects, including law, sociology, criminology, and international relations. In terms of subject content, in the first part of the course in Year 12, students will study democracy and participation. So they will look at political parties, electoral systems, voting behaviour and the media. In part 2 of the first year of the course, they will also look at the framework and structure of the political system in Britain. So they look at the Constitution, Parliament, Prime Minister and Cabinet, as well as relationships between these branches. In year 13 they take a broader approach to politics. One unit that they study is on American politics, which looks at how America runs its political system and particularly focuses in on comparing it to the British system. So it looks at the role of the President and the role of Congress and how decisions are made in America. And the other unit looks at political ideologies. So it looks at the whole ideas behind the political system in the first place. Ideologies that include liberalism, conservatism, socialism and feminism. And again, all of these subjects should go to create a really balanced course in politics for anybody that's looking at studying politics at a higher level, particularly degree level, because it gives you a rounded idea of what politics is about both in this country and in America. And of course it gives you the opinion and the opportunity to look at and compare the two systems in order to become a more politically understanding person, somebody that can understand politics and can take part as a citizen of the country.
My name is Mrs. Field. I'm here to talk about the BTEC Level 3 in Health and Social Care. So, what do we like about Health and Social Care? It's my favourite subject, obviously, but we learn about everything from when you're born to when you die and all the stuff that happens in between. So it's about all of your life. Anything could happen, and it does. In terms of the benefits of choosing my subject, well, it goes well with all sorts of other subjects, especially things like applied science and sport. But it's really, really good if you want to go into any careers to do with health, obviously nursing, caring, social work, any of those things. It's really, really good basic outline to start you off. In terms of the demands of the subject between the Tech Award and the Level 3, it is quite a big step up, and there are 2 written exams rather than 1 in the Tech Award, but we still do coursework. So you get a mixture of both. In Year 12, we do the Unit 1 exam, which is about your life, and in Year 13, the exam is more about the laws and legislations. But the coursework, in Year 12, we talk about care values, so similar to what you're doing in the Tech Award with your care value role plays. And then in Year 13, we talk about physiological disorders, so things that can go wrong with the body, and you do a long, extended project on 2 of them. So you might study leukemia, for example, as one of your case studies. Some of my favourite memories. Well, my favourite memory is making me take the cyber babies home and then watching you come back on Monday when you're exhausted. But everyone seems to really enjoy it, so hopefully when it's your turn, you'll have fun. Past successes. Lots of ex-students are now in the healthcare sector. So lots of nurses, midwives. Miss Roundin, actually her midwife used to come to our school, so when she was giving birth, one of our ex-students was there, which was interesting for everybody at the time. And what can my subject lead to? Again, loads of careers. At the moment, you'll definitely find a job in the NHS, no problem there. And in terms of achievements, well, Health and Social Care has got a really, really good track record of getting excellent results. So we aim for distinctions and distinction stars every year, and let's hope that when you join us, it will continue. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Miss Deans and I'm the Head of History, and I'd like to talk to you about why you might want to consider taking history as an A-level subject. If history is your passion, then A-level history is the subject for you. It gives you all sorts of skills that will be so useful to you in your future life. You will learn comprehension, analysis, you will learn research skills. All of the skills and the content that you learn will be useful for you in so many ways, whatever career you decide to follow. Obviously, should you wish to follow a career in history, whether it's perhaps in museums, as a teacher, at a university, then obviously those skills will be useful to you. But also, the skills that are taught to you in history are useful in policing, in law, in accounting, in television work, in acting, in all sorts of careers that require you to be lively, to have an inquiring mind, and to have the skills that I explained to you earlier. In history, we have chosen to study topics that you've touched on lightly for GCSE, so that you've already got a background that will help you. So the first of the areas we're studying is the Tudors, so from 1485 all the way through to 1603. At GCSE you will have studied some of this when you looked at Henry VIII and his ministers. This is a fascinating period of time. It explains why the religion of our country is as it is, why Parliament is as it is. It explains a lot of our rules, our customs and our culture. If you're interested to know why our country is different to other countries, why we behave in the way that we do, then studying this topic will be of particular interest to you. The other topic that we're studying for the exam is Germany from the end of the First World War all the way through to the end of the Second World War. This also is touched upon for GCSE, but now we're going to look at it in much greater depth and also the impact of the war. Although the war now is a long time ago, it's had a massive impact upon Europe and the rest of the world. And again, the way that our country is different to others, the political systems that we have, the beliefs that we have, and the laws that we have, are all focused on what happened during this period of time. The third element that we study is open to you. The third element that makes up your History A-level, which is worth 20% of your final grades, is a piece of coursework, an extended essay of up to 4,500 words, which you will have over a year to research and write. And this is your opportunity to pick a topic that you wish you'd always been able to study. Students often say to me, can we study this topic, or this person, or this event? Well, this is your opportunity to do so. You'll have to create a question where you're posing a problem-centred issue for you to resolve. You'll need to carry out detailed research, and then you need to put together your answer to show that you can work as a historian works. This year we have students working on witchcraft, on the development of policing, the role of women, the role of Mrs. Thatcher in government. So we've got a wide range of different areas that people can look at. You have a free choice, so long as it is something that is problem-centred and there's enough material for it. History at A-level is a very successful subject. Every year our students go on to university, very often to study history, often to study other subjects of which history has been given an opportunity to do, because universities like History at A-level. It shows that you are a strong academic candidate. So is history right for you? If you have 4 level 4s and above, including 1 in English, if you love history, if you're prepared to work hard, if you have an inquiring mind, if you like to ask lots of questions, if you like to debate issues, then history is the subject for you. If you have any questions, please see me around the school. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mr. Bowers. I'm head of the Science Computing faculty. I'm here to talk to you today about the Level 3 IT course. So why is the subject enjoyable? Ms. Baxter feels very much, and the other teachers, that the fact that you're learning about IT, which is so important, especially given this year, a lot of things have happened and how lots of things have to move online, lots of people have to work from home. Having an IT qualification is really, really useful in making you more confident in using that kind of software. What are the benefits? Well, it allows you to improve your digital literacy skills, as well as understanding of computers. In addition, we'll work on problem-solving skills that will help you in all areas of your life. And also understanding the technology that surrounds us and any kind of new advances in that. What are the demands? Well, there are a few main differences between the GCSE courses and the IT course you do at Sixth Form. There's no programming content in the Sixth Form course. You'll complete 2 exams and 3 coursework units across the 2 years. There is a mixture of practical and theory elements, and in 13 you will be building a computer as part of one of your modules. Miss Baxter's favourite memory from teaching A-level is when she sees that light bulb moment, when she sees a pupil really kind of understand something, grasp something, and maybe they don't get it straight away, but they get it and it flicks on, and she really enjoys that part. Been very successful in terms of the IT course. The vast majority of pupils studying the IT course have distinction stars, which is the highest grade available, and if they haven't got that, they've got distinction, so it's a very well-run course. What can the subject lead to? Well, it's a subject that keeps doors open and opens many others. So if you want to work in IT, obviously it's a very good qualification for that. And also other jobs that are going to involve IT. So there's going to be lots of jobs that, regardless of whether it's actually in IT, you need IT skills to do them. Think about being a teacher, we need lots of IT skills, so it's going to help you in all facets of life. Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Mr. Hari. I'm in charge of Key Stage 5 in the Maths department. So I'm talking to you about the opportunities you have in studying 6th form Maths at St. John Fisher School, and it's a really exciting opportunity for you to do this A-level course. So what I'm going to talk to you about is the reasons why this course might be the course that you really want to do. Now there are so many reasons for studying Maths at A-level. One of the reasons why you do this is Maths is a really beautiful language. The language of Maths is so interesting. We can put lots of ideas, all the laws of nature on paper. We can sum it up in simple equations. We put everything in the form of equations, and we communicate that to many people. And this is a universal language. Now, the other reason why you want to do Maths is because at the basis of all technological development, we use the Maths. Last but not least, we are studying Maths for our future. We are thinking that Maths is really important because this will allow us to take courses that are related to Maths for one reason, or you might just want to go for Maths because you want to go for the following career. The areas where you are going to be using Maths in different careers would be, of course, where people think physics, engineering. They also will be thinking biology. You may not realize that how much of physics that biology uses in terms of the technology. We're talking about more the use of technology in medicine, and that's where you need mathematicians. You need people also in banking sector, in the economic sector. This is where we apply the laws, the Maths. We are doing Maths at A-level, and the board that we are doing is we are using Edexcel for our exam purposes, and the course will be over 2 years. The components that you will have are pure Maths, statistics and applied Maths, and applied Maths is statistics and mechanics. So you are going to be examining on those 3 fields in the first year and also in the second year. There is no coursework, and the exams are all done in June. There is no exam in the first year of 6th form. All the exams are done internally in the first year, but then you have the public exam in the second year. The entry requirement for this course is a minimum of grade 6. We are pleased that you are taking an interest in studying Maths at St. John Fisher School, and the Maths team at 6th form are looking forward to welcoming you in the next academic year. So all the best, and let's hope to see you next year.
Hello future Year 12s or current Year 11s, and welcome to this presentation about one of the most relevant subjects you could possibly study at A-level, which is media studies. It is a subject that I thoroughly enjoy teaching, and it is a subject where you will end up in a class having passionate discussions about so many topics that are current in the world today. Media just refers to any means of communication that can reach a mass audience. So when we think about forms of media, we think about the really obvious old-fashioned ones that everybody always gets. We talk about film, we talk about television, newspapers, magazines, all of those more older forms of media. But there's also the newer forms of media, like for example your music videos, like your online media, and also video games, which feature heavily on the course as well. Some of the topics that we're going to discuss in media studies are, for example, the topic of power. So if you've ever wondered who has the power in this world and who doesn't, and how the media can be used to reinforce the power that is held by the few in society, then media studies is the subject for you. The same goes for equality, or inequality actually, why that still exists, and how different forms of media can be used either to reinforce inequality or to fight it and to make things in this world a little bit more equal. The same goes for the topic of stereotyping. So, how actually are different groups of people seen, and why are they seen like that? And again, how can the media reinforce or challenge that image? One of the topics that the current Year 12s are discussing with their teacher is, for example, the Black Lives Matter campaign, and how actually black ethnicity, and especially in the USA, how black people are represented in the media and how those stereotypes are reinforced. The same goes, for example, for gender. So if you've ever wondered why the roles played by women in films are much different to the roles played by men in films, then media studies is also the subject for you. My favourite part of teaching really is the discussion that you have before even getting onto the essays, many minutes spent passionately discussing our opinions of those subjects. There is also a practical element of the course, so you will also learn how to make different forms of text. There is on the coursework a choice, so you will have to make 2 different forms of media, but we will teach you all the techniques. So you will learn how to work a camera, you will learn how to use Photoshop, you will learn to use different video editing software to make your own production as good as it can possibly be. And that's generally a favourite part of the course for the Year 13s who tackle that coursework. In terms of the demands of the course, which you must be really curious about, given that you might never have studied media studies before, the most important thing about media studies is to have an opinion. So engaging with mass media on a daily basis and actually having an opinion about what's going on. Is it a good or a bad thing, the way things are presented in the media? There are facts and theories for you to remember. So it is a subject that requires you to be on top of your revision and to research and revise your key theories, your key terminology, which might be new to you. But please do not worry, we have you covered on that, and the first term in media studies is dedicated just to theory and getting you used to the subject of media studies, and you have our support with that. In terms of the successes that our students generally have, our media studies students generally make very good progress. Lots of our past students have looked at going on into a university course that has something to do with media. So we had a student a few years ago who went on to study journalism. Others have gone on to do apprenticeships. One has done digital marketing, and the last time I saw him, he was engaged in writing a website for a company, and he very much enjoyed that. That is not the only thing you can do with media studies though. So of course you can go into careers that involve the media. Anything to do with communication, anything to do with marketing and advertising, anything to do with journalism, they are generally the careers we think of when we think of media studies. Working in television, so for example getting a job at the BBC, working on a film, being a video game designer, those are the really obvious choices. But actually media studies is a very versatile subject. And because it is an essay-based subject, because you learn how to have an opinion, you learn how to justify that opinion, you learn how to take the opinions of others into consideration, it is really a subject that can help you get into any career that you want. So that's it from me. I hope that has given you a little bit of an insight into what media studies is and why it is a great subject to study. We hope this has helped you, and we hope to see you with us in September.
Today I would like to encourage you to consider studying physics at A-level. Physics, especially at A-level, is an incredible subject to study and will fundamentally change your understanding of the world around you. If you are interested in understanding how the world and the universe works, this is the subject for you.
If you are interested in understanding the true structure of the matter that surrounds us, then physics is a subject for you. And if you would like to gain a qualification in an A-level that is recognised as being of the highest quality, then physics is the subject for you. Physics at A-level is a step up for GCSE, both in terms of the content and the math skills that underpins it. You will need a grade 6 in science and at least a grade 5 in maths. But most of all, you will need to enjoy solving problems. If during math lessons or science lessons you get a sense of achievement from solving a complicated problem or equation, then you should consider studying A-level physics. If you do study A-level physics, you will cover a wide variety of topics, ranging from the smallest particles to the largest galaxies and many other topics in between. You will also find it relevant. In understanding particles, you will learn how digital cameras work. And in understanding quantum physics, you will be able to explain how a touchscreen device operates. A-level physics provides a route to science degrees at university and can provide a route into many science-based careers. But physics does not simply provide a route into science. Degree courses ranging from architecture to engineering can be accessed with a physics A-level. But more than that, physics is a well-respected A-level. Universities do respect it and take it seriously, even if your chosen degree doesn't directly relate to it as a subject. However, if you did pursue a physics degree, you can expect to earn in the top 25% of salaries in the UK. If you enjoy a challenge, want to understand how the universe works, and would like a well-respected A-level on your CV, and more importantly, if you want to study a subject of awe and of wonder, then I would encourage you to study physics, and to end with a quote from one of my current Year 12 students, who said, "I feel like I've learned more in the past 2 months about the world and the way it works than I did in all of my GCSEs." I would encourage you to study this subject, and I hope to see you in class next year.
Hello, my name is Mr. Fisher. I'm here to talk about why you might want to do psychology at A-level. So, I think psychology is an amazing subject, and there's a lot of really good reasons for choosing it. Not probably too many reasons I could go through in a short video, so I'm just going to try and go through it quite quickly for you. But I think for me, if you've ever wondered why people behave the way they do, why people do the things they do, things like, does prison work as a way to reform behaviour, why people conform with others, whether your childhood experiences change who you are. If you ever wondered about those questions, then psychology is a subject I think is at least worth looking at. Because even if psychology doesn't have the whole answer, you can bet there'll be psychologists looking into it and trying to find the answer.
A-level religious studies is an opportunity to question life, the universe, and everything. Don't let the word religious put you off. This is a fascinating philosophy, theology, and ethics course that focuses on some of the biggest questions that human beings can ask. Can we prove God exists? Where did the universe come from? Why does God allow evil to exist? How do I decide what is right and wrong? What about abortion and euthanasia? Should it be law that businesses are run ethically? Should there be rules about sex? Why do people believe the Bible? Is it the action or the consequences that make an action right or wrong? You don't have to be religious to realize that those questions are very important. Our students love thinking, debating, and writing about these issues. Our staff are enthusiastic about course content and are committed to ensuring that our students achieve outstanding results. We've even had a student apply to Cambridge. Just as important, our students thoroughly enjoy the time they spend with us. Not only is the content engaging, but this A-level is highly regarded by universities. The critical thinking skills developed in religious studies is transferable across many subjects, and has enabled many of our St. John Fisher students to go on to study things like law, pharmacy, criminology, forensics, psychology, biomedicine, social work, history, philosophy, and politics. Take the course and have your say about some of the most highly debated issues in the world today. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Mrs. Bennett and I work within the Human Humanities Department at St John Fisher and sociology teacher. If you're inquisitive, you like to know what's going on around you in your local area, you like to know what's going on nationally, and you like to know what's going on globally, then sociology is the subject for you. It's about asking questions, really. So, for example, we look at 4 units throughout the 2-year course. One of those units is crime, and we ask questions like, well, okay, statistics tell us that it's boys that commit more crime than girls, so why is that? So therefore you ask all sorts of questions as to try to ascertain why that is. We look at the family and whether or not different structures of family is good for society or not so good for society. And the final unit is that we look at education. Again, girls are outperforming boys in education, and we ask questions why. Exam-based, all exam-based, so at the end of the 2 years you will sit 2-3 2-hour examinations. And yeah, so like I say, if you're really, really inquisitive, you like to know what's going on, then sociology is the department for you.
Hello everyone, I'm here today to talk to you about a new exciting course we're offering for next year for Key Stage 5. It's a Level 3 BTEC engineering course. This course entails lots of small projects, lots of techniques, and has links to maths and science. Engineering is a big industry. You can go into civil engineering, electrical engineering, structural, mechanical, aerospace, motorsport, and many others. So if you're thinking of going into an industry where you will build bridges, tunnels, shopping centres, tower blocks, robots, aeroplanes or cars, and many more, this is certainly for you. So if you need any more information, please don't hesitate, come and see me or Miss Bailey, your head of sixth form. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Zelda. I'm in year 13 and I'm the head girl of St John Fisher. Coming to St John Fisher has been one of the best things I've done in my educational career, because it's helped me grow my confidence and it's helped me face challenges that were difficult for me back in secondary school. St John Fisher has a lot of learning support and emotional support if you come here, and it's also very helpful because the teachers are very encouraging in helping us to understand what we have to do, and also giving us mental support in how we can deal with the challenges to come in the future. St John Fisher is also very diverse because there's so many students from different backgrounds, ethnicity, religion, that we all come together as one family and we help each other out no matter what situation we're going through. Whether year 12, year 13, we help each other both educational and emotionally. The teachers also, like we have Miss Bailey who's there to help us for anything that we need, whether university talks, whatever we need. We also have people like Miss Leg who's also going to help us, like any situation we need, we go to Miss Leg. And also, St. John Fisher is a very comfortable community, no matter what. I also want to apply to medicine, and I'm at the process of applying to medicine, and I've had a lot of support from my science teachers like Dr. Norman, who's helped me with my application process and what to do to get to become what I want to be in the future, by going to Medic Club every Fridays, which helped me know what I have to do to become a doctor. And St. John Fisher, Miss Bailey also has been one of the people who's also helping us with our application, and which has helped us with our application process, because she tells us what to do and what not to do. Yeah, come to St. John Fisher because it's going to help you grow as a person, it's going to help you with mentally support. It's also going to teach you so much to do for the outside world, in the workplace, and whatever subject you do, you're going to get whatever support you need in St. John Fisher.
Hello, I'm Ethan. I'm the head boy of St. John Fisher School. In this sixth form, we provide a lot of help and support. We have a loving community. I stayed in this sixth form because they have offered me a lot of help in year 11 and throughout the years of my life. I've seen other grammar schools and they do not provide support like they do. It's a lot of textbook learning. Here the teachers are very kind We have a friendly community. They would help you one-on-one on your course of learning. If you do not understand things, they can help you. And after school, we have interventions and things like that to help you further on in your education. For my subjects, I've chosen maths, biology and chemistry, and then later on for my career, I would either like to become a medic or a pharmaceutical scientist. And it's especially good because we are doing a medic program and also a Oxbridge program, which inspire young people to go to Oxford, and also a medical program. So if you want to become a medic, it is a good consideration to come to our school. Furthermore, we are having a brand new building next year, which can help you build a new environment of learning, especially with the new facilities we have, like art facilities, DT facilities, scientists, and lab works. All of those can help you in your course of learning. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you consider coming to our school.
you.